My name's David. I'm a friend of Joey. I just come back from the Philippines. I've been there for longer than a year, and I had a business up there with two partners, and I stayed in Cebu, and Cebu is in the middle of the Philippines. It's I had a girlfriend before that I went back to see, and you go back, everything changes.
Everything changes?
Yeah, a lot changes when you
changes
come
for the
back.
good or for the bad?
Either way, but you get changes happening a lot up there, and the people you knew before are different when you come back.
Oh, okay.
So you make new friends when you get there,
Yep.
and you sort of start over. And that's why it's very hard, like if you get married or something like that, you come back and the girl's with someone else.
That quick, is it? Is it that
Yes.
quick?
It's very hard to find loyalty with a girl there.
Wow.
And you try not to treat it too seriously in terms of having a wife or something like that, if that's what you're thinking of doing. You just meet a lot of interesting people though, and you don't stay there too long. I tried to stay there fairly long. I had a business with two very good partners, and they still couldn't succeed. The rule is never try to do business in the Philippines. It's just too hard.
Why is that?
Unless you're local.
Is it because you can't trust the locals?
You cannot trust the locals, and the bigger the business, the more difficult it is to run. You've got to keep it small, tight control over everything. You always have to be there. You cannot trust anyone.
So you can't leave the business in their hands and go back to Australia and...
No way. Unless you had a very good security system or something like that, keep
Yeah.
an eye on them, but that wouldn't be enough. The problem is trusting people there, and I managed to stay there quite long because I knew people there before, but I see a lot of my friends, they go there and they don't know so many people, they're naive, and they get caught out, they get in trouble quite easily. It's like the snowball effect. You get one problem leads to another problem, and you can end up in a difficult situation very quick.
And like you say, the Philippines is like the arse end of...
It's the arse end of the planet. The Philippines is where all the bullshit, right? All the bullshit that happens there, right? And you get that with business. Making money is very difficult there. Losing money is easy.
Oh, okay.
But it's hard enough just to save money. But
Yeah.
if you're trying to make money, it's almost impossible there.
And what about falling in love?
It's very easy to fall in love
Yeah.
because there are many beautiful ladies there, and they all want the same thing, but
Yeah.
it all goes to their family, and they're just thinking of you as a mobile ATM.
That's all they're thinking of.
That's what they're thinking of. They just want the money, and they're thinking of you as a mobile ATM.
So they're nothing
And
but...
guys get involved with these women, and they get emotionally attached, and they end up finding out that they're just being used for their money afterwards.
And they've got other boyfriends, have they, as well?
And you go back, and it's usually the boyfriend that they know they're from home,
Yeah.
that is usually the one pulling all the strings,
Oh,
getting
sneaky
his girl
bastards.
to see a foreigner so he can get the money.
How low is
And
that?
you never track, and it's interesting to know that all they give you is a mobile number. They don't have an address, they don't know where they live. There's so many secrets they have in the closet that you don't know, that they know more about you than you know about them.
Oh, I've heard that
And
before, yeah.
when I went back, I managed to find out everything, but it took me a long time to figure out all the skeletons in the closet. With
So
my
you
first
actually had
girlfriend.
to surprise her, right? Catch her
I
off
had to
guard.
surprise her, and my girlfriend, she had 12 in her family. She lived on an island. And my first time there, I didn't know any foreigners. I was on my own, and I went to her island to meet her family and her parents and everything like that. But I was completely vulnerable because you're outnumbered there.
Yes, yeah.
Right, and your girlfriend isn't going to protect you. You're on your own.
So when times get tough, she's not there to support you.
yeah, and then when I come back, I got her brother a job, and in the business
Yeah.
as well. I even did everything for her brother, which is her, the one she get on with best in the family. And still, I go back to surprise her one day, and I find her with another Filipino boyfriend.
You find her with another boyfriend.
Filipino living with another
What a
Filipino boyfriend
sneaky-
in her house while he's polishing his brand new motorbike. So
No, that-
he had money,
Yeah.
he was getting money, she knew it, she was living with him, and she lived in the same, he was living in her house, the Filipino boyfriend.
That is-
And he worked for the police. When I went there to surprise her, suddenly all these other police were turning up, everything like that.
Oh,
So
okay.
I almost got arrested for the surprise visit. So they're very good at keeping secrets.
So that's what you get for having a good heart. You be good to
That-
someone.
Yeah, you try to think. I give so much money to help that girl and her friends and her family, and I come back afterwards. And when you pay the surprise visit, then you see what's really happening.
You see what the real picture is.
Yeah. So it's because you don't get too involved. You just don't treat it too seriously. You just go there for fun. You don't have girlfriends for too long. Right, I tried to treat it too seriously, like I want to marry this girl or anything
Yeah.
like that. And it's the same old mistake. A lot of people make that same mistake. So you just treat it not too serious, and you just make light friends. Don't get too involved.
Okay,
The longer you stay,
Yeah.
everyone gets in trouble, and they end up having to leave. They get caught, or something happens. It's because they stay too long. They're not one of the local people.
So it's best just to have lots of friends and don't get
You can have a
serious.
great time if you stay there like a month to 3 months. You can be a great time if you've never been there before. But it's like a drug, you know, you love it
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah.
I tried to stay too long, and the same thing happens with my friends when they stay too long. Shit hits the fan
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah.
So
Sounds like they're like the scum of the earth.
it's not that. There's many misunderstandings, but if you look at it, they all seem like a religious people. There's a lot
Yeah.
of churches around.
Because they're a Catholic
But,
country,
but
right?
the churches are really for confession. So
Okay.
it's like saying it's okay to treat this person this way because we can confess in church. It's okay, right? So the fact that there's a lot of churches, you think it's a Christian country, but the big, very showy churches that they have, it's sort of like saying it's okay to treat the foreigner not so well like that. So it's more of a place for confession.
Oh, okay.
So I'm thinking, oh, it's a religious country, there's a very,
Yep.
very God-like, all that, but it's not the case. So I noticed all this on my second time there to try to understand what's really going on,
Okay, so it took you a while to figure things out.
figure out what's really going
Basically, the churches are there for confession.
on. For confession, yes. And I meet and there's not many foreigners in their churches. It's all for themselves, the churches. So there are Muslims living in their country as well, and there are a lot of, they say Christian people there, but if they act like Christian people, it's not the case the way we act like Christian people back home.
Yeah.
Right? But they look at it that their main objective is to get money, and to get money, they look at any way work that they consider work is like scamming the foreigner. It's okay
Okay.
to scam the foreigner to get money